Hey everyone, this is Nick, and this is going to be my challenge for lesson 6. So let's go ahead and open Photoshop now. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and create a new document. And today the image size is going to be 1920 by 1080. And I'm going to leave it at 300 pixels per inch, and we'll leave it with a white background. Say create. Okay, so I've got my blank canvas there, so I'm going to go ahead and bring my image in. Alright, so I've got my image in there now. It's all the way out to the edges for the canvas, so I'm going to go ahead and say OK to that. And then the next thing that I want to do is I want to rasterize that image. And I'm also going to duplicate the layer. We'll leave the defaults on that. So now I've got a duplicate of the layer to work with. I'll go ahead and make this full screen. So today we're going to be working with filters. So primarily in the filter menu up here at the top. There's a lot of different filters that you can choose from. I'm going to pick a few here to kind of go over this image. So the first thing we want to do is we want to select the rectangular marquee tool. And we're just going to start selecting an area on the image. So I'm going to select this upper eighth of the image right now. And then once I have that selected, I'm going to go up to filter. And we can come down here and we can go to distort. And let's do a ripple effect. And if I go here, you can see that what's going to end up happening, if I do a large ripple effect, it changes the way that that portion of the image looks on there. So let's select the marquee tool again. And this time we're going to go next to that area. We're going to select the next eighth of the screen. So we'll go right about there. We're going to go back up to filter again. And this time we're going to do a blur. And let's do a iris blur on the image. So what's going to happen is if I go and I start adjusting this, you can see it basically blurs out the colors, kind of gives it a little bit of a different perspective, kind of a neat perspective on it really. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'll just kind of move this around here just a little bit. And now that I've got that, we'll go ahead and lock that in. So now I've got my blur going on. Okay, let's select the marquee tool again. We're going to go to the next eighth of the screen. Or roughly eighth of the screen. Okay, so we'll select that area there. Now let's go up to filter, and this time we're going to do the emboss. And when I do the emboss, it gives a little bit different effect than what you typically see on the other images that we were using before. Kind of changes those colors around and really brings them out. So let's go ahead and click OK. I like the way that looks. We'll choose the marquee tool again, and we're just going to continue right on. This will be the last top eighth of the screen. That's pretty good right there. We'll go back up to filter. And then this time, let's go to solarize. Okay, so that looks pretty good there. So now let's start on the bottom part. So this will be the bottom first eighth of the screen. We've got that selected with our rectangular marquee tool. Okay, now I think this would look really good if I pixelate this, and specifically if I crystallize pixelating it. I think that'll look really good there. So we're going to go ahead and choose that, and specify what the cell size is. I don't want them to be super large. I want it to give kind of that, I want it to still have a similar effect, but I want it to look pixelated. So we're going to click OK on that. That's got a really kind of cool look, the way that fire is over there. Okay, now let's choose our rectangular marquee tool again, and we're going to choose the next eighth of the screen. Okay, so now we're going to go back up to filter, and this time let's go to the lens flare. And I'm a big fan of the 35mm, so we're going to kind of flare it out here at about 175% roughly. I guess I'll just have to type it in because I'm not that good with the mouse. And that might be a little too much. Let's do 150. We'll click OK, and there's my lens flare on that. So that looks pretty cool. I like that. Now we'll choose the marquee tool one more time. And go to the next eighth of the screen, and then again we'll go back up to filter. This time around, let's do spherize. So when we do the spherize, what's going to happen, especially if I choose like horizontal or vertical only, is it's going to kind of make it and bow it out to where it gives the effect that you're like inside a sphere. So what I mean is like that, which it didn't really do too much. Not sure I really like that. Why don't we just undo that portion, and we'll select a different filter. Let's add a Gaussian blur to this. That might be the better way to do it. Except we're not going to put it that much. We're going to make it just enough to where it kind of blurs out that main area. Yeah, that looks good like that. And then the last part, go back up to filter, and this one I'm not going to do quite as much to it. I'm going to add just and diffuse it. Give a lightning effect on it. Alright, so there's our completed image. Now let's go up here, and what we want to do is we're going to first export this. And we're going to save this one as a JPEG. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to save it as a Photoshop document. Alright, and we've got our document saved, so we'll go ahead and close out of the document and quit out of Photoshop. And that'll finish us up for this week.